What's up, everybody? It is the Boys of Fall College Football Show, Week 6. It is just me. As you can see, the background doesn't even look as nice as it usually does. Jort is in Vegas, living it up, while the rest of us are just stuck here. No big deal, though. The good thing about this show is there's only me. So I'm not going to be keeping people long. We're going to knock this out quickly. I'm going to give you 5 games, my 3 dogs, and I'm going to give you an explanation. And then I will obviously open it up to you guys for you guys to, if you guys have any questions on what games, which way do I lean? What do I think? Now, remember, there's a lot of games. I can't dig into all of them, but I will do my best to give you guys my leans on the games that you guys are wondering about. So, we got a great slate today. Let me tell you something. This 3:30 p.m. slate, specifically with Vanderbilt and Alabama, I cannot wait for. There is the revenge factor, right? Alabama loses last year to Vandy, who, by the way, they kicked the hell out of for years. They get this kid, this dog that's wearing pads and a helmet and plays quarterback at Vanderbilt, comes and beats Bama straight up. Does it happen again today? Does it happen again today in Alabama, in Tuscaloosa? Let me tell you something. If they lose to Vanderbilt, Tuscaloosa might burn. Tuscaloosa might burn. Just saying. And then we have Miami, Florida State. Like, come on. These are the days that we are excited about. These kind of days. So let's just jump right into it. All right. So first game, I don't have the slides like Jort usually has of last week. And quite frankly, let's be honest, I don't even want to look at last week. I had a terrible week. Don't even know what it was. Went up to Penn State and at 1:30 lost complete service. No clue. So let's just jump right into it. We got Kansas State versus Baylor. Now, I gave this play out last night in the Discord, and I gave it out at Kansas State plus 6.5. The line's currently at 4.5, and I'm still okay with that. Now, 5.5, fine, whatever. If you can get it at 4.5, that's good. Anything above a field goal, I like. All right. Baylor just can't seem to win these games, even when they're home. Even when they're home, they just cannot seem to win these games. All right. They lost the same exact type of game to Auburn and Arizona State at home. Okay. Dylan Edwards is finally back also for Kansas State, which means that Kansas State and this Wildcats offense has finally got this running game going. And it seems to be like maybe that was a missing piece. Maybe that was why they struggled. But he is back, and he is a major difference maker. But the biggest issue for me was the fact that, why I like Kansas State so much was the fact that last week, I'm sure you could say, didn't even care to play Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma State scored 27 points against this defense. That dead, cold body called Oklahoma State that shuffles out 11 cadavers on offense, 11 cadavers on defense, managed to score 27 points. I think that this right here is a live dog. All right? The dog is barking. Who's at the door? It's Kansas State. Dogs are barking. I think they win outright. But we're just going to take a plus 6.5, and then we're also going to do the dogs are barking plays. Next, we're just going to take a team I take every week currently at this point. It's Kansas team total over 27.5. It's at 28.5 on the book, but move it to that all 27.5, get under 4 touchdowns. In my opinion, the books just continue to undervalue this Kansas team. I don't understand why. I get they're on the road. but I don't get it. They've scored over this number in every single game this year. Every single game. I thought for sure this week you'd be looking at 32 and a half, 33. Nope, 20, 28. And this UCF team just gave up 34 to Kansas State. So it feels like it only makes sense. Like, I'm going to continue to take this team total until I think even if they lose this week, I'm going to take it again next week. I just feel like it just doesn't make any sense. So Kansas team total over 27 and a half. All right. Next, I mean, there are some games. Okay. Let's do Boise State versus Notre Dame. Okay. Notre Dame football is currently like in this. I mean, they're just scoring a ton of points, right? They scored 56 last week against Arkansas. They scored 56 the week prior against Notre Dame. Then they have an 81-point total game against Texas A&M. 24-27 against Notre Dame. I mean, these teams are, I mean, they're just scoring. And they can kind of get scored on. You know, Purdue put up 30. Arkansas, you know, that's just a mess with the whole Bobby Petrino situation. Obviously, backdoored our guy there. But I think that, I mean, you have to play this over here. This is another one. I'm just going to continue to play these games until they don't hit. I'm taking Boise State versus Notre Dame over 62 and a half. Because currently, right now, it looks like Notre Dame can score 56 every single game. At least they're on a, right? If you're a trend person, they scored 56 2 in a row. So you're saying, okay, we literally just need one touchdown from Boise, and we're going to get more than that. Well, I'm taking the over 62 and a half. So Boise State versus Notre Dame over 62 and a half. This Notre Dame, I hate that I have to do this, but you know, they're just one of those teams right now that is just clicking on all cylinders. Every single time I think like, this is going to be the game. It's not. It's not the game. They kill it every single time. You know, and Boise State hasn't really been a slouch. You know, they put up 47 against App State, 49 against Air Force. 51 again, Eastern Washington, right? They get blown out by South Florida, right? Week 0 or week 1, week 0. But they're going to be able to score some points. But Notre Dame's also going to be able to score. So it's at Notre Dame. Love this total. We're going over here. And because I want to have some action on these big games, usually I stay away from them, but Jort loves being on them. So I'm trying to still provide you guys with the you know, the big games, right? So let's just go to Florida State versus Miami. Florida State coming off a loss where Squirrel White got trampled, crushed, killed by the student section rushing the field in a double overtime loss to Virginia. We were on Virginia. Spread and money line. But the point of the matter is that I just think this game is ripe for points. Okay. I like Carson Beck, unfortunately. But more importantly, Carson Beck can throw the ball well. But what Castellanos can do with his legs, even when they were playing Virginia, they'd be down. And it's just like, this guy is just willing this team back into this game, willing this team to go into overtime. I like Thomas Castellanos. The number's sitting at 54 and a half. I'm taking that. Taking that. Have to. Miami's going to be able to run the ball, right? And Thomas Castellanos is going to be able to make some really, really explosive plays. So I like the over there. I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch. Going to be exciting. You got a good, rivalry between Miami and Florida State. So we're going to go with another over there. And let's just get to the game that I am most excited about. And that's Vanderbilt versus Alabama. It seems like the world is on Vanderbilt, right? It opened up, I think, 14 and a half. Now it's sitting at 11 and a half. I don't care what it is. I'm going to bet on Diego Pavia. Enough said. That's all that needs to be said. Diego Pavia, there's a legitimate pit bull that puts on a helmet and pads and plays quarterback for this Vanderbilt team. If this kid can go down to Tuscaloosa, it was one thing, right? It was an upset last year. Alabama comes to Vandy. They beat him. Goalpost comes down, ends up in the river. Great. But now you have to go down to Tuscaloosa. If Diego Pavia can do this, the Trophies Discord, Diego Pavia Heisman ticket looks good. He's having another great year. I mean, he's thrown for over 1,200 yards. The biggest thing is this kid doesn't miss. He's completing 75% of his passes. All right. And the biggest issue for this, in my opinion, for this Alabama defense is the fact that when teams get in the red zone, I have the stat written down here, so I'm not just pulling this from 83.3% of the time, opponents are finding points. So if Diego Pavia can get in the red zone, they're going to find points. I promise you that. Kalen and his defense looks slow. Saw it against Florida State. They're going to have a tough time today in Tuscaloosa. And at 11.5, must bet. Money line, you have to take it. You have to. What has Diego Pavia shown you that says, nah, I'm going to roll with Ty Simpson here? Nah, I'm good. I'm going to go with the dog on offense. I say it all the time, and it's probably not a fair comparison. He reminds me a little bit of Johnny Manziel. Maybe it's because his stature, he's a little bit smaller, but it's just his playmaking ability. The guy's a dog. And it's these games right here that cement you in being a legend or an almost. I think Diego Pavia is fully aware of what this game potentially means for his legacy at Vanderbilt or his legacy as a college quarterback. I want a dog at quarterback going up against Alabama. And if you're going to give me Vanderbilt plus 11.5, it's a must. And the money line is live. So I'll give you guys another play that I really, really like. I like this Purdue team. They're at home. Like them on the spread. But 7.5, anything over a touchdown, I feel like you have to take. And I think that they win this game outright. The dogs are barking. Okay. We got 3 of them. Yeah, Purdue. Look, they've let us down in the past, right? But Jordan's been on them like twice this year, and they've covered. He's taking them like first half. So if you want to roll first half with Purdue, spread, money line, go ahead and do it. I like this Purdue team a lot. And the barking dogs, the 3 dogs I'm going to give out, it's going to be Purdue, Vanderbilt, and Kansas State. All right? That's the parlay. Let me tell you what the odds are here on this. I did what is that? 15% parlay boost on DraftKings and came out the plus 45.94. Plus 45.94. Put 0.25 units on it. I think the dogs are barking. I mean, it could be a nice payday before 7 p.m. Could be a great payday before 7 p.m. All right, so those are the plays. Does anybody have any questions? I don't even know. It tells me how many people are watching. I have no clue how many people are actually watching. But we're going to go Kansas State plus 6.5, Vanderbilt plus 11.5, Kansas team total over 27.5. Remember, that's an all. I just moved it down 1 point. Boise State versus Notre Dame over 62.5. Florida State versus Miami over 54.5. And the barking dogs is Purdue, Vanderbilt, and Kansas State. Love it. I feel very good about today. Very good. I don't do player props, Cuff, because I am in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania does not give me the option to bet player props. Now, there are people in Trophy Sports Picks that do. Thoughts on Florida? I mean, this is probably the toughest game. I mean, I don't want to say toughest. I feel like Florida should cover. Yes, Buff, Purdue, Vanderbilt, Kansas State. Now, remember, that's a long shot. Florida versus Texas. I feel like Florida should cover. Let me check. Let me see where that line's at right now. I know they had an emotional win last week, but it seems like they could cover. Yes, I agree. So it seems like that win last week, Virginia plus 7.5 versus Louisville. And I am always weary to take a game in a situation where Virginia just came off a double overtime win, right? It seems like a perfect letdown spot, or you're coming off a very big game, where it just makes me I always like to stay away from them. But yes, I feel like Louisville can win. Virginia should be able to cover the 7.5, but if they don't, again, it would be because of previous week. I'm feeling Swamp Magic too. I am. I'm trying to see what this line is. Do you know what the line is off the top of your head for the? Let me log in quick. UNC another. I know. I just cannot take this team. I can't take this team. But I also can't take Clemson. I mean, Dabo Swinney and that team, they look lost. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Florida. Plus 4.5 over a field goal. Key number of 3. You take the 4.5. I personally wouldn't sprinkle the money line because it's just not enough. Like, I like looking for like a plus 170, plus 180, plus 190. I would imagine it's probably like plus 150, maybe. Maybe it is plus 170. But I like to try and at least double up the money on a dog. But I can't trust Clemson, and I can't trust what they have going on down there in UNC. Can't trust either of them. I just can't. I don't know what to do there. I'm just staying away from it. It's disgusting. Dabo's trash. Bill, God knows what's going on down there. Iowa State money line. Feel like they are a live dog. Yeah, this is a weird one, right? Where are they plus 1.5? So in college football, usually you'll see that they will, when they do like their weighing, right, that they will give, for certain atmospheres, like 3 points. So if you were to take away, I'm trying to load my thing here. Home field advantage there, Iowa State would be favored because they're on the road, right? Yeah. Now, I'm not saying Cincinnati has like an insane environment, right, that they're worth 3 points. But this is certainly a pick 'em. And yeah, you have to go with Iowa State here. Rocco Beck. Now, I also wouldn't be surprised if this is the game where they get caught. But Rocco Beck at quarterback, I like a quarterback who's a dog. I mean, that's why we're on Diego Pavia. And Rocco Beck is a dog at quarterback for Iowa State. See, Stanford Steve was on Clemson to cover. Look, D-Fish, this would be a game where I say Clemson maybe gets right. ACC championship is not out of the realm for this team right now. They've looked terrible. They've looked really bad. Dabo is like losing his mind, going on press conferences talking about, remember what I used to do for you? It doesn't matter. They don't care. They want to see what you're doing right now. If you want to take Clemson, you already know what I'm going to tell you, D-Fish. You got to move that line to 13.5. You don't want to be caught with the hook over that key number 14. And when I say key numbers, for those of you who don't understand, it's football numbers, right? So 14 is a football number, right? 15 is not a football number. So you could get hooked here on a 28-14 game. So why not just move it, eat the juice just a little bit, take 13.5 if you like Clemson to cover. Yeah, Cincinnati's D is bad. I would take Iowa State. Again, Personally, I stay away from a game like this. So if Iowa State was home, I would just take the money line straight up. You can't really, I would not take the spread on this game. I would just, if you want to take Iowa State, roll money line. Don't eat the juice on the plus 1.5. Just roll with Iowa State. And I said, look, this is appreciated. This is cool. That's what's up. Thank you. But I'll go through it one more time. Remember, dogs are barking today. I like it. Purdue, I'm telling you. Okay, we got him. All right. Duke, Cal. I can't even lie to you. I didn't even look at this game. Didn't even look at it. But, okay, here, I looked at it for a second. All right, so I did a stream with Des Bryant the other day, and this was a game that he asked me about. That game's at 10:30, I believe. Let me confirm here. 10:30 Eastern time. Yes, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Duke has to travel all the way from, the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. So their body clock is essentially playing this game at 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning. Cal is the bet. Has to be the bet. By the time this game's over, Duke will be playing at 4:30 in the morning. This stuff matters. You watched it with USC just last week. They had to travel across. Didn't affect Oregon much where I needed it to. Penn State, absolute dog. I'm not wearing Penn State the rest of the time. Boycotting, big time. I would be all over Cal here. Ohio State team total. Let's see. Dude, what's the team total at? Didn't even look at this game either. I'm playing Minnesota. Jort is off. Yes, he's in Vegas today. I asked him for picks too. He's like, nah, dude. I guarantee he's betting too. 44.5 is the Ohio State team total. Is that what alt 28.5? I don't know what we're talking about here. Let's see. Let's get it. 43 is the team total for Ohio State. It's a little high. I mean, it's a little high. It just feels like a little high. Like they put up 24 against Washington, and they put up 37. No, do not. I would stay away from this. I mean, they put up 37 against Ohio, 24 against Washington. Sure, they dropped 70 on Grambling State. That doesn't say much. But they've only gone over this team total once this year. So I wouldn't even. No, stay away from it. Yes, yeah, I think he's asking for Ohio State, though. He asked it off up here, I think. Let's see, new comments. Ohio State is the Ohio State. Yep. It's 33.5 for the Ohio State team total. Why are we throwing out 43 over here? Gosh. Yeah. I wait till live bet it. That's what I would do. See how they look first series, and then go from there. Or see how Minnesota specifically looks. If they're prepared. This could be a game where Ohio State's like, whatever, we're going to smoke this team. And they come out flat. That happens all the time. It happened last week before. Oh, Ohio State's homecoming. Yeah, that's tough for Minnesota. I would be using that. Where their homecoming game, not a good look. All right, one last time. We're going Kansas State plus 6.5, Vanderbilt plus 11.5. Kansas team total over 27.5. Remember, that's an all. It just moved at 1 point. Then we're going to go Boise versus Notre Dame over 62.5. Florida State versus Miami over 54.5. And the barking dogs. Again, I'm going to take these individually, but I did parlay them together for the sake of it. Purdue, Vanderbilt and Kansas State. If you want, go ahead and take Purdue, first half spread, or on the regular spread, it's plus 7.5, which I absolutely love. So let's go have a day. Let's go have a day. Until then, thank you guys for hanging out. Jort will be back next week to do the show with me. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.